Keddie, California, a postcard-perfect resort town in the Sierra Nevada mountains, tucked among tall, silent pines, it promised peace and a fresh start. In the spring of 1981, that peace was shattered. The story begins in Cabin 28, a modest home for the Sharp family. Glenna Sue Sharp, a mother of 5, had moved her children here for a new beginning. John, 15, Sheila, 14, Tina, 12, Rick, 10, and Greg, 5. They'd come from Connecticut, hoping for safety and quiet. On April 11, 1981, the night began like any other. The older kids were out, the younger ones at home. Sue and Sheila were there, along with the boys' friend Justin for a sleepover. The mountain was dark, the stars bright. No one in Keddie could have imagined the horror unfolding inside that little cabin. The pines kept their secrets. The next morning, something was terribly wrong in Cabin 28. The kind of wrong that changes a place forever. The kind that turns a peaceful town into a nightmare. What happens when evil comes knocking, and you let it in? For the Sharps, and for Keddie, the nightmare was just beginning. The silence of the mountains would never be the same. The story of Cabin 28 would haunt Keddie for decades. A family searching for peace found something else entirely. The monsters weren't in stories, they were living next door. The nightmare had only just begun, and the echoes of that night would never fade. Evil had come to Keddie, and it would never truly leave. Sunday, April 12th. Sheila Sharp returned home at dawn. She opened the door to Cabin 28 and froze. The air was heavy, the silence unnatural. She called for her mother, her brothers, no answer. The living room was chaos, furniture overturned, blankets scattered. On the floor, she saw them. Her mother Sue, her brother John, and John's friend Dana, bound, gagged, unmoving. The violence was unimaginable. Sheila ran, screaming for help. In a bedroom, Rick, Greg, and Justin were found unharmed. They'd slept through it all. But Tina, 12 years old, was missing. The police arrived, the cabin sealed off with yellow tape. Keddie was in shock. This didn't happen here. Whispers and rumors spread. Who could do this? And why? The brutality was staggering, but Tina's disappearance was even more chilling. Search parties combed the woods, the river, abandoned cabins. No sign of Tina. It was as if she'd vanished into thin air. Inside, investigators found electrical wire and medical tape used to bind the victims. Knives and a hammer had been used. The attack was personal, vicious. The scene left more questions than answers. How could such horror happen in a quiet mountain town? Who would target the Sharps? And where was Tina? The investigation began, but the mystery only deepened. The community was left reeling. The nightmare was far from over. The search for Tina became desperate. The answers seemed to slip further away, and the darkness over Keddie grew. The investigation was chaotic from the start. The crime scene was contaminated. People walked in and out, evidence disturbed. The sheriff's department was overwhelmed. They collected fingerprints, a bloody knife, a hammer, but nothing fit. Autopsies revealed extreme violence. Sue, John, and Dana were stabbed and bludgeoned. The attack was frenzied, personal. But who would do this to a family that kept to themselves? Investigators interviewed neighbors, friends, and family. Sue's ex-husband had an alibi. Rumors surfaced about John and Dana's possible run-in with local drug dealers. Was it a drug deal gone wrong? Then, a strange detail. Rick, Greg, and Justin claimed to have slept through the attack. But under hypnosis, Justin described 2 men, one with a mustache and glasses. He saw Sue with the men, heard arguing, and saw Tina being taken away. Was it memory or trauma? Weeks passed, leads dried up. The town lived in fear. The resort empty. The silence on the mountain turned menacing. Tina was still missing. The family was shattered. The killers walked free. The case was growing cold. The community's trust was broken. The investigation stalled. The truth seemed out of reach. The mountain's silence hid dark secrets, and hope faded with each passing day. The nightmare lingered, and Tina's fate remained unknown. For 3 years, nothing. The Keddie case gathered dust, Tina's disappearance an open wound. Then, in 1984, a discovery, a skull and jawbone found near Feather Falls, 100 miles away. Dental records confirmed the worst. Tina Sharp had been found. Grief returned, but so did urgency. Near her remains, a blue jacket, jeans, an empty roll of medical tape, and a blanket from the Sharps' home. She'd been taken from the cabin and killed elsewhere. The remote location suggested someone wanted her hidden forever. Justin's story of seeing Tina taken away now seemed credible, but the evidence didn't point to a suspect. The mystery deepened. Who knew the area so well? Detectives re-examined old statements, looking for lies. Focus shifted to two men who lived just a few cabins away. The investigation had new life. The community's hope flickered. The truth felt closer. But justice was still elusive. The pain of loss remained. The search for answers intensified. The shadow over Ketty grew darker, and the secrets of Cabin 28 refused to die. The case was far from over. The hunt for the killers began anew. The investigation zeroed in on neighbors Martin Smart and Severin Beau Boubade from Cabin 26. Marty had helped Sue move in, claimed he was at a bar the night of the murders, but his wife Marilyn told a different story. Marty hated John Sharp, argued with him, and left the cabin late that night with Beau. Marilyn saw Marty burning something in their stove, possibly evidence. Beau, a drifter with a criminal record, matched Justin's description of a second man. The theory: Marty and Beau confronted John. Sue intervened, violence erupted. Dana arrived and was killed, and Tina was taken because she recognized them. Tina's body was dumped far away. The pieces fit, but there was no proof. The trail was cold. The community was left with suspicion, not closure. The killers remained free. The Sharps' tragedy deepened. The case stalled again. The truth was maddeningly close, but justice slipped away. The web of deceit held strong, and the nightmare continued. Ketty's peace was lost. Years passed. The case went cold. Martin Smart and Beau Boubade died, taking their secrets with them. The surviving Sharp children grew up haunted by that night. In 2013, a new sheriff reopened the case. Investigators used modern technology, re-examined evidence, and found a hammer, matching one Marty reported missing. It had been overlooked for decades. Then, a letter from Marty to Marilyn surfaced. "I've paid the price for your love, and now that I've bought it with 4 people's lives, you tell me we are through." 4 lives, the 3 in the cabin, and Tina. It was as close to a confession as anyone would get. The evidence finally fit together. The theory became truth. But the killers were gone. The case was never officially closed. The community had answers, but no justice. The scars remained. The truth was bittersweet. The silence in Ketty was forever changed. The nightmare's shadow lingered. The truth brought relief, but no justice. The men responsible were dead. No trial, no closure for the family. The case remains officially unsolved. Ketty is quieter now, its name forever linked to tragedy. Cabin 28 is gone, but its memory endures. For the surviving Sharps, answers brought pain and closure. The story is a warning: safety is fragile, and evil can hide anywhere. Missed clues and mistakes let the killers walk free. The silence of the mountains is now haunted. Evil isn't just a story. It can be the neighbor next door. The echoes of that night still linger, and the silence left behind is the most haunting sound of all.